new addition, the top-ranked Keyshawn Davis. I mean, these guys, I mean, Nico is starting out really in boxing, but he shows that he has the genes of his grandfather. Great knockout tonight. And Keyshawn Davis has so much experience in the amateurs that he can fight just about anybody in the professional ranks. So Nico, I'll let you say a few words, and Keyshawn, and then we'll open up for questions.
First off, I want to say alhamdulillah, thank God for the victory, and yeah, I mean, like Bob was saying, it's just an honor that I'm able to continue my grandfather's legacy and just do my thing out there. I mean, I worked so hard for it, and it's great to be fighting on the same card with guys like Keyshawn and Shakur. Like, I was watching Keyshawn way back when he was an amateur, you know, on Instagram, watching your stuff. So, and he had an awesome night tonight too. So it was just a great night of boxing, and I'm very happy for it.
Keyshawn?
First, I'd like to thank God for giving me this victory. Bob Aram, the entire top rank staff for putting me on a card like this, giving me a big opportunity like this to display my talent, to show the world who Keyshawn Davis really is. Honestly, I'm just happy for myself, honestly. Like, all the pressure is gone. I finally get to enjoy myself, enjoy Vegas. And like I said, I just love putting on spectacular performances. And tonight, yeah, I got another spectacular performance, and I'm just gonna keep going up from here.
Anybody wants to ask a question, please wait until the microphone is passed to you. Thank you.
Hi, question for Keyshawn, please. Keyshawn, right in front of you. I guess I wanted to ask you, Shakur has always raved about you and your talent and talked about, you know, you were going to be the guy, you know, down the road. I wonder if you can kind of talk about him and the performance he put on tonight and sort of how that inspires you as well.
Man, I seen Shakur from his debut all the way leading up to a huge fight like this. I'm honestly looking at the atmosphere, looking at the crowd, all these fans coming to see my brother fight. Like, I'm like, wow, like, Shakur came a long way, man. And he put on a great performance. He basically won almost every round. Oscar, you know, he touched him a few times, but he really couldn't touch him tonight. Shakur always rises to the occasion. Whether it's a boring performance or a performance like this, Shakur always gonna be Shakur, and he always gonna get that win.
Thank you. Nico, if I could ask you, when you see that crowd in the main event going crazy and everything, do you put yourself in there? Like, do you kind of move forward and say, hey, one day I want to have that, you know, the crowd chanting my name and doing all that kind of stuff like they were doing for Oscar and Shakur?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, even I heard a little chance of like Ali tonight, which is also great to hear. You know, I used to see that back when I was watching the footage of my grandfather, so that's real heartwarming for me and my family to hear. But yeah, definitely one day I can hear them chanting, you know, Nico, and I'm looking forward to that.
You know, Nico's about a month away from graduating from UNLV with honors, which is a great accomplishment.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, thank you. Major. My major is business entrepreneurship, so it was a little tough, you know, balancing the two, but you know, I'm glad it's almost over.
Nico, over here to your right. I talked to you a little bit on the Zoom about repping 702 and walking out just a second ago. I made mention about Bubba. Today is a special day for Gorman grad 702. Bubba Bolden gets picked up by the Seahawks, Jalen Speedy Naylor, and then yourself. Big night. Just talk about the representation of Las Vegas and young athletes in every aspect, and then your role in that.
Well, you know, tonight's a big night for athletes in general due to the NFL draft and obviously the fights here tonight. It's huge that these guys, Jalen Naylor and Bubba Bolden, were drafted because they're from Vegas just as well as I am. So I think it's a big night for all of us guys from Vegas, and I congratulate them, and I love those guys.
My question is for Nico and Keyshawn. Nico first. How much of an effect did Ramadan have on your training as you were preparing for this fight? And as you went into this fight, did you have a particular strategy in your mind in dealing with this particular fight?
Yeah, so first off, I love the Ramadan question. I had to make sure with my great grandma that I got the pass on not fasting because I wasn't gonna fast. I didn't know how it would affect my body. But I love the fact that my fight is just at the end of Ramadan, so we basically are all celebrating my fight and the end of Ramadan. And I went into this fight looking to land a hook, right hand hook, and I thought the hook was gonna land, but the right hand ended up being the one that landed.
And Keyshawn, you did a superb performance in boxing this particular fight that you were in front of. Did he have any difficulty in front of you at any time throughout this fight?
Not really. The entire time when I was in the ring fighting him, I was really just trying to, I'm not gonna lie like that. It was about the fourth round. He was down 3 rounds, and he came out in the fourth round stepping to me. So I'm like, oh, okay, you trying to switch it up on me, okay. So eventually, how I stopped what he was doing was I started fading him. I started throwing my stabs back down to the body, started slowing him back down. But it was like 30 seconds of him trying to press me out and get me uncomfortable to where I had to get back comfortable and just take back control.
Question for Nico. You had such an early night. Is there anything that you were able to learn from your time in the ring tonight that you're going to be able to build on for the next time?
Yeah, the biggest thing about tonight was just maintaining my composure and doing everything that I wanted to in the ring, and I believe I did. I just wanted to stay calm. For a fighter like me who doesn't have a lot of amateur experience, it's very important to stay calm under the lights, and I did so. I'm very proud of that, and I just thank God I got the victory the way I did.
Last question for me. Your major at UNLV is business entrepreneurship. Do you see yourself as a fighter, as a businessman now, as you actually running your own business, being an entrepreneur as well as being a fighter? And is that hard for you?
I don't think it's hard. You know, I enjoy fighting more than anything, but obviously I enjoy business. I think Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the first person that made boxing a business, and he did that without a degree. So with the degree, I feel like I can learn a lot more, and I'm looking forward to being able to do so.
Okay, question for Keyshawn. First of all, congratulations on your victory. Great performance. How fast would you like to move up the ladder?
Honestly, I feel like I'm already moving as fast as I can. Like 4-0, I fought somebody 18-1. Like I really had to go in there and break this guy down, stay disciplined throughout the entire fight. Because even when I hurt the guy with a body shot, and I see that he was hurt, I still couldn't get him up out of there. Like he was real game. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm moving like as fast as I can move, like moving fast. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, any faster is like top 10 contenders. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, just keep watching me fight. I'm gonna be there real soon.
All right, I have one last question for Bob. Bob, I think you hit gold tonight, having all 3 of these gentlemen fight tonight. Do you think in the future you could possibly see these guys again on a pay-per-view extravaganza? Because I think all of them are sellable and marketable fighters. So how soon possibly could we have all 3 of them on the joint pay-per-view?
I hope, truly hope, that we're moving out of the pay-per-view era. You know, everything changes. When I first started, we had closed circuit television and theaters. You could barely see the picture, and then we got really good pictures and color, and then we got pay-per-view. I think now we're going into a new era of the streaming era. I think that, look at the NFL, Thursday nights, the only way you'll be able to watch a Thursday night football game is a streaming platform on Amazon Prime. Well, that's the future. So, and I think that's great because it'll be a lot more economical for the fans, and will put the people who are stealing the signal on pay-per-view, which is the reason that is why it's tanking, out of business.
Hey, this question's for Nico. So you had mentioned earlier you like to fight a lot of the same countries that your grandfather fought in, like Africa, this, that, and the third. How far away do you think you are from that? And are there significant fights that you see yourself fighting in those countries, like a specific fighter?
Well, honestly, Bob was the first person who was telling me the stories about my grandfather in the UK, so I definitely want to fight in the UK because of just the impact that they had on my grandfather, and I would love to fight there. They're fight fans like no other country, so that would be my first destination.
And Keyshawn also wants to be an international star, and while he won't be fighting on the card on June 5, June 4 over here from Australia, he's going over to Melbourne, Australia to watch the Devin Haney-Cambosa fight, because down the line, one of those guys will be a future opponent for him.
Thank you, Bob.
Congratulations to both of you guys. My question is for you. Keyshawn here. Shakur Stevens said that Terrence Crawford was knocking out heavyweights and, you know what I'm saying, sparring. So how was it for you when you sparred Terrence Crawford?
Oh, it's a challenge. It's a real huge challenge. I mean, Terrence is one of the reasons why I got what my IQ is to this day. Like, Terrence is the reason why I'm so tough. Like, Terrence plays a big part in camp with me, including Bomac, including Sal Wu, including Coach Red, including Chance. Like, all of them play a big part, and Terrence plays a part in the physical end. But also, he teaches me as we spar, like, okay, Keyshawn, yes, I'm doing this to you, but this is how you get out of the way of that. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody do this to you, then you do this in spar. So Terrence is definitely a big help, and he's definitely, you know, speeding my process up with my IQ and stuff like that.
Okay, now let's have a round of applause for these two young men for the great performances tonight. And I'm informed that Shakur Stevenson, the new unified champion at junior lightweight, will be here any second.
One thing, Nico, before you go, see, I'm a person, like Bob said, I'm a fighter from the amateurs that come with a lot of experience. I've been to the Olympics and back and stuff like that. When you performing under lights, how you performing with zero amateur fights, and you coming in doing that, you're definitely special, bro. And don't let nobody tell you you're not. Like,
Thank you so much.
you definitely a special fighter, bro.
Thank you, seriously.
For sure, you're a special fighter, man. Keep getting better. You're gonna show the world.
You're the best.
Thank y'all.